Welcome into another episode of Boba Geeks. Hope you're doing very well, extremely well. However, I say well every time we open up this podcast.
Well.
So, it's my wife's favorite day because it's finally May.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I saw one today, though, where they had Adele's picture that says, "Hello, it's May."
So you couldn't do a Lionel. Is it May you're looking for?
Oh, nice.
No.
There's also pour some sugar on May.
Yeah,
I did see that. I did
that's
see that one. That's a waste of sugar. Come on. We're in the South. We don't do that.
No, we're healthy now. We do Splenda.
Yeah. So pour some
you don't pour sugar on May. That's how you get ants.
Plus, it could make Peter Parker mad.
Oh, well, that's true.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going down that road.
Yes.
So anyway, it's welcome to May week. It is the first of the month. And I'm Brock Parker, and we'll go around, see what everybody's been up to. We're going to kick it off this time with brother Kevin Gardner.
Oh, man.
Oh, how you doing, buddy?
I am doing great, and the pressure is on. I get to go first this time.
That's right. Man. I'd like to switch it up a little bit.
Heck yeah, man.
You had a little out-of-state trip this week, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I went up to Nashville, spent the day up there. I originally meant to spend several days up there, but it just turned out that, house projects and things like that took priority. So I went up there for a day, went and saw the Parthenon, which, by the way, if you've never been to Nashville and never seen the Parthenon, that is the weirdest encounter, because you go to the Centennial Park and it's just like all of a sudden there's the Parthenon. It's like they just transported it from Greece and put it in Nashville. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It's full size. I walked over there and I was like, okay, there's the Parthenon. Okay, mark that off the list, I guess. Maybe I'll get. But and the main reason for going there was to see a show, that a little Canadian show called Letterkenny. Letterkenny is a Canadian comedy. I'm sure a lot of our listeners are very well aware of Letterkenny, and they are doing a live tour right now. So I went and saw this. I think this is the furthest south they're going. I think this is the furthest south they're going, unless they've added any other dates or any other locations. So I decided to go up and see them, and it was phenomenal. If you're interested, just look. I'm sure they've got quite a few dates left on their tour, but if you're interested and you want to travel a little bit, it's definitely a good show. It's if you love Letterkenny, you're at home when you're there. The most of the main cast is there. The core four, and some of the side characters are there as well too. So, and you get to see several of the cast members are comedians full time as well. So they actually get to do comedy sketches while they're there. So it's like
nice.
So it's interspersed with comedy sketches, and you get to see other sides of these actors that you don't normally see in the show. And it's about as crude and vulgar as the show normally is. So I like to describe Letterkenny as not quite as trashy as Trailer Park Boys, but still also has its own edge. For two Canadian shows, they're both pretty on point with that. But if you compare the two, Letterkenny is a lot cleaner overall.
I had never seen Letterkenny, never heard of it until you brought it up at one point. And when I saw that you were up there, I decided to go on YouTube and look up some clips. And I was like, it did remind me a lot of Trailer Park Boys, except a little bit out in the country flair.
Yeah, it's if I had to like give you anybody description without ever seeing it, I would say it's kind of like if you took Clerks and mixed it with Trailer Park Boys. You took a little bit of that Trailer Park board, like the drugs and all the edge that Trailer Park Boys has. You take that out, and then you just put Clerks in, where they like to banter. It's more intelligent, but also crudish kind of banter off of each other. So it's kind of like if you just merged Clerks dumbed it down a little bit, and then put a little bit of Trailer Park Boys spice to it. But they do have they announced, I think it's May 27th, one of the characters on the show, Jerry Kiso is the main character who plays Wayne, who's the primary character in the show. And he has another character that's very famous for playing on the show called Shorzy. And Shorzy is it's him, and you never see his face. He's always got his back turned, and he throws out one-liners about some crude things, and which I'm not going to go in here. But that character, they decided to give him own show. So Jerry Kiso is actually doing 2 shows now. It's got Letterkenny and Shorzy. That's actually going to premiere on Hulu. I think it's May 27th. So if you're looking to start anything fresh, I would definitely not recommend watching Shorzy until you've watched most likely all of Letterkenny. Otherwise, you won't know the impact of that character is on the show. But yeah, it's good. Yeah, I was super stoked to go up there, and the show did not disappoint.
Awesome. Fun little road trip then.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you want to not travel as far to Nashville to see something that's a replica of significance, I mean, we got the Statue of Liberty here around Birmingham. Yeah. Not a full size one, but
nonetheless, we still have a Statue of Liberty.
Huh?
We have a Statue of Liberty,
yes.
and we have Vulcan. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or as Bill, when I saw Bill Burr a couple of weeks ago, and as he said, yeah, I went and saw your Viking. I was like, oh man, nobody correct me, please.
The Viking.
Oh, well, you got to be familiar with the area and what he stands for.
Well, I mean, it's Bill Burr. He was just trying to trigger everybody. I mean, it was literally, Birmingham was literally the first stop on his comeback tour, like after COVID. We were the first stop. So basically, I'm willing to bet the next 5 shows that he did after that was just like, would you guys believe what they do in Alabama?
I have to find out. I know we had some friends in Georgia that got a chance to go see him over in Georgia. So maybe we need to find out if he asked him, he mentioned Alabama in his set.
Yeah. So, Bo Bearden, what's happening, man?
Another day, nothing but funness in recording this. Hey. I would say before we get into me, first fun fact, I did not know the Parthenon was up in Nashville until I saw the Percy Jackson movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So like they had to go to like somehow it was interwoven in the story, but me and my wife was watching. I was like, no way that's real. So we went to the Google machine and I looked it up and I was like, well, I'll be darned. I don't know how I made it, almost 30 years into my life and only now just found out about it, but
I never knew about it till I saw Kevin's, and then I haven't ever seen the Percy Jackson movies either, so I'm totally clueless to that either. So.
You guys have to go. I mean,
it's really cool.
It'll blow your mind. Like you just like pull up to the park and you're like, normally you're used to like seeing, all right, I'll see some statues, I'll see nice grass and stuff. No, the Parthenon is literally sitting right there.
Yeah, it's this massive. I mean, it is like you said. It looks like they plucked it from Greece and just dropped it right there in the middle of this nice, beautiful park downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I've been to Nashville many times, and I still have not laid eyes on it yet. I know it's there. I've known it's there, but I just haven't been over there to it.
The one thing that always stands out for me in Nashville is the Bell South building. I don't know what it is now. I mean, years ago it was the Bell South building, but it looks like Batman. So
the Batman Tower,
right? Anyway.
But now, what I got into, I didn't go as far as Nashville as Kevin did, but I went just a little bit below it. I went to Huntsville a week after all you guys did.
Mm-hmm.
There was a little small gaming convention that sprung up about 2 or 3 years ago. This is technically their second event, but their first one was had about 3 years ago. So, it kind of got postponed due to world situation for a couple of years. The first one was in Scottsboro, but it was called Game Jam South. And I'm like a lot of little retro gaming themed conventions have popped up over the years. So I'm glad now that we have one somewhat local.
Mm-hmm.
But they had this. It was up at the Von Braun Center. It was in one of the little East exhibition halls. It wasn't huge, but it was still fun for, like I said, the hour and 45-minute drive. Me and my son Oliver went. It was really cool. It was really neat. Like I said, they had vendors from old games. Of course, I picked up a couple of things. I bought Resident Evil 3 for PlayStation 1. Never had a physical copy. I always borrowed it. So now I have it. And for athletic theater enthusiast, even though I have 2 loose copies of WCW NWO Revenge for N64. Now I have a complete inbox, like original box with instruction booklet and everything. So now I have that.
Where is it?
Well, I can let's see.
You don't have it on display, man. I'm disappointed.
Uno momento, por favor.
There we go.
Our audio listeners.
Very
nice.
There we go.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
This is just an incentive for you guys to actually watch the video and stuff. I mean, come on.
You can see what we're talking about.
Hold on, let me grab the cool shirt.
Visual.
Oh. Bo is pulling out all the goodies he got.
Yeah, so go over to YouTube and search for Bama Geeks, and you too can see what he's up to.
Yes, I also have a cool shirt they had. It was
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's very NBA Jam inspired. They had another shirt that was looked like the Space Jam logo, so it was really cool, like how they done theirs. But that was it. They had Kenny James. He is the gentleman for Nintendo that does the English. Well, I guess I always think he does. I would assume it's the English version of Bowser.
Yeah,
which Bowser doesn't have a whole lot, but he says a few things. But it was really cool. Like I said, that was the highlight for my son. Like I said, that's what I did it for him. We got a picture with him. I got him an autograph. He talked to Bowser. In his mind, he got to talk to Bowser, which is
right.
As a dad gamer nerd, it made me happy because I told him, I was like, look, growing up for me, Bowser was just sound effects. He wasn't, he was, pixelated beeps and boops. This is an actual voice actor.
Yeah.
So I told him, it's like, man, you're my son's Bowser, and that means a whole lot. And he appreciated it. Oliver had a picture of Bowser he drew, he carried and gave him. So that was really
nice.
cool. So that was the cool thing about it. But I'm going to tell you, I teased y'all guys before we started recording. There was a lot of things going on at the Von Braun Center that weekend. There was that Game Jam South. There was apparently some kind of high school boys basketball tournament. Cat Williams was performing there that night.
Oh yeah.
But right next, also they had going on was I don't know if it was the North Alabama or North America Brass Band competition. Like it was like a concert band. Or right next the East Hall that Game Jam South is, right next to it, they had the vendor hall. So we got to see all nice and shiny new tubas and trombones. So I was like, oh my God, old video games and
marching band
or band stuff at the same time. So
it was like when we like back when we were kids and like nunties would show up at school and they had all the nice shiny instruments and stuff. Oh my God.
Well, this is like there was euphonium. There were no euphoniums. There were just regular tubas, baritones, some like trombones. Like I haven't looked at like new trombones since I was in high school. So like new model trombones now are like Rolls Royce compared to the thing I remember seeing when we were kids. I mean, they had dual triggers and like
what?
There was a trigger for the thumb and near the finger. I think my note brain is.
So there's an F attachment and then
what
is the other one?
I want to say the guy said a G, but I could be wrong. But it had dual triggers on it.
Wow.
But like I said, this is all involving. Also, they had, which is I'm now not surprised, but there was a mouthpiece vendor. Now they have like custom mouthpieces where you can unscrew the top and make adjustments to them or whatever you need. Like
this is like Band Geek. This is turned into Bama.
Yes.
Oh my
Geek.
God.
Like we just got to
whoever thought that up needs to be making millions at this point.
But like I said, I didn't get any pictures because, like I said, we just went in there just to look real quickly, and I didn't know if I wasn't like, I'm all had my game, we're all geared up for the con, we wandered over there, so I didn't want to be, didn't want to make them like all the weirdos next door are causing problems, But like that was really cool. Sorry, I'm going off on
no.
But like
no, we're not going to get away from this. So you're telling me that it's a custom mouthpiece, so you can have a custom embouchure. Like
yes, like the mouthpiece, like it was, where where your lips would go on it. You could unscrew it and put your own on there, or you could get one made. Like it's like band technology is like leaps and bounds. Of course,
back in my day, you had to use the stock one, and everybody you had to adjust your lips to the stock one. You didn't have a custom one you made.
I mean, like it looked like one of those little cases of John Wick where he could pick his, his weapon, except it was mouthpiece.
So now you're gonna have kids that come with mouthpiece cases. They pull the mouthpiece case out. It's like, which one am I going to use today? This is my marching mouthpiece.
Well, it's like that was the vendor room for that. They had the concert going on, and like if it had not, like I was tempted, like we were waiting for Kenny James' panel We were, it was like an hour or two after we got there. I was like, man, because we walked around the room 2 or 3 times. I mean, like I said, it wasn't big, but we still, we were doing that. So I almost bought a ticket. The band nerd, I had to fight the band nerd in me to buy a ticket to go watch the band performances.
Well, my only addition,
awesome though.
Yeah. The only thing I'm going to add to this is, and it's also kind of a tie into a couple of weeks ago from our Back to the Future episode, but we were in a rabbit hole of YouTube one day, and there was an old clip of Tom Wilson back when he did Carson back in the day, and he's got his tuba with him. So if y'all have a chance, y'all definitely need to look that up. So okay, now back on to
but I bet he didn't have any custom mouthpieces though.
Yes.
No, I'm sure he didn't.
No.
Now that I know that this is the thing, I'm gonna have to go look it up after the episode.
Well, I should not be surprised because in the last 10, 15 years being like in with the Ghostbuster costuming grouping and stuff like this, like everybody has their own thing. I never, I was like, oh, this is just this niche thing, but then I think about it, people who are super into band are gonna have all that stuff for them. So like it was very, after I realized, I was like, I should have known, but it was still very cool to see that. And like also the point of like you said, back in my day, it was like this, and now it's, all this.
Yeah. I mean, I always thought the mouthpiece was part of what, I know you making the embouchure in the mouthpiece is what makes the sound, but I always assumed that it had to be that exact shape in order to get the sound that you needed. But now I feel like my whole life is a lie.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been lied to, guys. Now that you can have custom mouthpieces.
Yeah, it was insane. And there's no telling what the price tag on that thing was.
Yeah. There's no need for me to find out because I haven't played in 20 years or more.
I want to. I've got my trombone sitting right behind me in my case. I've got to drag it out. I want to practice it some more. I'm like, I miss it. My lips are gonna hate me for a week solid when I finally start to do that. But I'm like, you know what? Let me pick it up. It's something.
Hey.
Maybe we can entice more viewers on YouTube for you to get the trombone. Y'all get the trombone out one day.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Do a trio.
We got all three of us. We could we could find something with 3 parts, and then one of us can struggle to play the first chair. We're
gonna the trombone Hunger Games. Who can survive?
I have to find my trombone. It's somewhere in storage, along with everything else.
Lord only knows.
I am going to reach out to my band director, though. He follows me on Instagram. I'm going to reach out to him and say, why did you lie to me? You said I was good, and you said it was because of the whole thing, and this all had to be the exact way. And it's like, I guess he's going to be like, well, science, man. It just changes. The world changes.
Yes. Think about it now. You could probably 3D print your own mouthpiece if you can find a way to do that.
Don't even tell me.
I know your language.
They have 3D printers where you can actually use concrete and build a house. So yeah.
That is one of my favorite topics on YouTube.
This makes me jealous now thinking about the 3D printing. If you couldn't do the mouthpiece, think about if we had 3D printers when we were in high school, we would have 3D printed like mustaches for our mouthpieces, or like goofy glasses to clip on it when you're playing.
Yep.
We were a missed generation on that. Darn it.
If 3D printers had been around that far back, imagine where they'd be now.
Oh man.
That's insane. It would be common to have a 3D printed house, like Brock said. It would be like, that would be like, I grew up in a 3D printed Adobe
Adobe. Can you say that word?
Adobe. No, I don't say that because I literally you can't stick there.
I'm drawing back on my Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Adobe. I have an Adobe certification. But
is there a basement in the Alamo?
Abode. Hey, I think that's what I meant to say was abode. An abode.
There you go.
Well, they do make houses out of Adobe down in like Mexico and places, right?
It's a house, an Adobe.
Yeah,
that's got to be expensive. Those Adobe licenses are expensive, man.
Well, if you remember the old Saturday Night Live skit where they had
the cars,
the
Adobe,
the Adobe, and the cars would get into accidents, they'd hop out and just reshape it, and get back in and drive.
Like Gumby.
Oh, that's when Saturday Night Live was good.
But it was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Well, Jess, what's up with you, girl?
Well, I'm not much, honey.
All right, so on next topic.
Sorry. As of right now, just chilling with you guys. But we've had a very. I have been spending a lot of time in the other end of the house this weekend because Brock has been churning out that last paper for his class.
I am done for 3 weeks.
So,
that's wonderful.
I retreated to the other end of the house to give him the privacy and quiet that he needed to concentrate and get that paper knocked out. But
fun topics. What did we do last weekend?
We went to Huntsville last weekend, and we went to the Huntsville
Comic and Pop Culture Expo.
Thank you. I was worried. I'm sorry. I was worried I was about to burp there in the middle of that.
Oh, nice.
So. Just so everyone knows, I was a little worried there that I was about to burp into the microphone.
She is a lady. Thank you for holding it in.
Mm-hmm.
As the truck goes by with its loud muffler, so you got to hear some sound effect.
There is the truck and the dog and everything else. So
yeah.
But anyway, we made a trip up to Huntsville last Saturday, Brock and I, to the Huntsville Pop Culture and Comic Expo.
Comic and Pop Culture Expo.
Well, yeah. Huntsville Comic Con.
Like I'm one to correct you because I butchered that thing on every episode we've talked about it.
Had a great time there, and same thing. I mean, it's not a very big con, but
it was enough to keep you preoccupied for a day.
We had a good time. We met Ross Marquand, who was Aaron on Walking Dead, and super guy, great to talk to. Got our pictures made with him. And
you were struggling.
My mouth.
What is happening?
I'm getting dry mouth.
Do you need a custom mouthpiece, Jess?
Yeah. Okay.
Do I need to tell the story for you?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm fine. So yeah, and then we met Darby Allin, AEW, which super guy again, and I got roped into playing tic-tac-toe with his brother.
Yeah.
And if I had won, I was going to get a free autographed 8x10, but unfortunately I lost. And
it probably would have been an 8x10 of his brother. He didn't specify who.
Yeah.
But apparently to pass the time at his table, they'd been drawing on it and writing on it and doing all kind of just, nifty little things there. And I went with the intention this last trip, a couple of years ago, I had a chance to talk to Dustin Rhodes at Magic City Con, and I had took him some pictures that I took at a Raw years ago. And it just so happened to be the Monday Night Raw that he first brought his daughter out when they were running that storyline with him and Terry and Brian Pillman leading all into that. But I took pictures to him and showed him while he was in Birmingham at Magic City Con. So he was a guest at Huntsville last weekend, and I told Brock, I was like, I'm going to take those pictures back, and I'm just going to give him those of his daughter, because that would mean more to him, and he would enjoy having that. I mean, more than I would ever. It's his daughter, is his only kid, and photos now. I've reached the point in my life where I realize how important having photographs are, because sometimes it's the only thing you have of a person, and so with that mindset, I was like, I'm going to take these pictures back to him. Well, we were about 5 minutes away from the con, and I realized that I left the pictures at home. So I know, I was like, okay, I was kind of bummed about that. So in the setup where they had where other guests were set up there at the con, Dustin was right next to Darby's booth there. And Brock had said, well, why don't you just kind of mention it to him and see if by chance maybe he has a way that you can send him the pictures. And I was like, okay. Well, here I was kind of really nervous about just asking him that. And I said, well, maybe while I'm over there with Darby, I might have a chance to just kind of casually, talk to Dustin about that. So I go up to meet Darby, and I'm standing there and I'm talking to Darby, and all of a sudden it's like I feel this presence like right behind me. And I turn around, and I mean, I almost like there's Dustin, like he's right behind me. And I mean, he almost stepped on me. It was just, and I turned around and out of my mouth, I said, "Oh, there's a Dustin Rhodes right here." And I told him, about Magic City Con, about the pictures, and
he remembered the pictures.
Yeah, he remembered. He remembered the interaction there. And I said, "Well, I meant to bring those to you today, and I ran off and forgot them. So can I send these to you?" And he says, "Yeah." He goes, "I don't really have it set up to where I kind of give that, information out or have anybody send stuff to me." He says, "But you'll see me again." And he was just kind of nodding. He was like, we'll see each other again." I'm like, "Okay." And so he kind of sat back down. So I'm talking to Darby, and I tell Darby, he just come off that last match, that coffin match, and it was
so good.
Complimented him on his that, and told him that we really want to. Hopefully, we'll get an AEW event at some point here in Alabama, get a live event going. So we get our picture, and excuse me, I'm sorry. We walk off, and right next to Darby is the booth set up for Magic City Con with Jamie and Rita. So Brock and I go over there to talk to them. And while we're talking, the guy that's, I guess, Darby's handler or works with Darby, he's over there talking to them. And they were working out a deal. And now it's official that Darby is signed up as a guest for Magic City Con.
That Saturday.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
I'm hoping they get Dustin back, because you could tell kind of Dustin and Darby were talking with them in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping they're getting Dustin lined up, and that's what he meant by that. You'll see me again. So who knows?
That's
Hope
cool.
so.
Yeah, and again, going back to Ross, we had a really great time spending with him, and got to talk to him, and just compliment him on the show and how good the season's been. Okay, I'm the band leader's queuing me up here. Anyway, great time. Brock,
Okay,
I'm gonna let you
next
finish.
time I'll just rush you on camera so nobody will have to guess what I'm doing.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
You know how they do at the Oscars when the little you're doing that, the little guys getting ready to fire up the orchestra.
I'm more concerned because if you're watching on YouTube, you can see she's struggling to talk for some reason. Her mouth is very dry, so I'm a little concerned for her. Okay, silence is not good. Keep going, honey, please.
I'll let you, if you want to. You can finish you can finish talking about Huntsville. We can go on to.
Go ahead and tell your story about Ross. That was your guy you wanted to see.
I did.
She saw him. That was it. Hey.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I apologize to everyone on YouTube, because I don't know what's going on with me right now.
I mean, you heard about customizable mouthpieces earlier, and it's got you thrown in the
I guess I'm just flabbergasted over here. This podcast tanked because Jessica her brain just left her at some point in time during this podcast. Right. So yeah, okay. So let's talk about Ross. Ross was a fantastic guy, and we talked about the last season and the show wrapping up. Of course, I teased him. I was like, I know that I said, I'm a little worried for your safety, and he says, I am too, and that's kind of where he left that at. And I said, yeah, don't you hate it when you get asked questions that you just can't answer? So we chatted about that. We chatted about the city. We talked about Sonoy and the city and shooting where they shoot the show at. And then we talked about Nick and Norman's. And he actually, we talked about Bucky's too with Ross, because Brock was wearing his Bucky shirt. So, and we got our selfies, and that was it.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm positive.
Wow. Okay. I feel like this story is unfinished.
No, that's all.
I mean, really, that's it. You
Yeah.
know, I mean,
He took a lot of funny selfies with us. Mm-hmm. There's some where we're just looking completely normal. He's doing goofy faces, and then he goes, "Okay, a normal one." He does a normal face, and then Jess puts on this goofy face. So yeah, it was night and day from each other during that time. It was good. But yeah, as far as the rest of the Huntsville trip, we went up there to see Stephen Clark. You know, we had him on a couple episodes ago, as you guys very well know. He had his nice big Back to the Future booth set up, and Oliver and Terry Holler were there. And so we spent most of the day, you know, we spent a lot of the first part of the day walking around looking at different toys and vendors and stuff like that. And then we spent the latter half of the day over there with Steve and his wife, Susan, and with Oliver and Terry. And we went over and spoke to Leah Thompson and Maurice LaMarche.
Yeah, it was about getting close to the end of the day there Saturday. And I said, well, I just want to go talk to her. And Maurice just happened to be sitting there with her. So we just kind of strolled on over there and just made casual conversation because I had met her before. Brock met her a couple of years ago at Dragon Con. Of course, we've all met, Maurice. So
yeah, and I feel bad because we were talking to Leah about her 2 episodes that she directed the season of Picard. And I was like, we really enjoy the fact that the Borg Queen is on there. She's been in promotional shots and photos and materials. It's not a secret. And then Maurice just deadpan looks at us. Well, thanks for spoiling that. I haven't started yet. Oh, I'm so sorry.
And Leah actually.
And then Leah told us something that hasn't happened in the season yet.
Yeah.
And I looked at Maurice and said, well, we just had that spoiled. So I guess it's fair play. He looked at her like, why?
Did he do it in the brain voice though?
It was close.
His real voice is not far off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really was. Yeah. He was tired. It was end of the day and everything, but afterwards we went out to dinner with Steve and Oliver and Terry and just had a great time seeing them. And Huntsville was fun. It's a good little con. Is it a 2-day con? Not really. Is it a 1 day full of stuff and full of fun? You bet.
Yeah.
You bet. A lot of good vendors. There were a couple of things I had my eye on, but by the time we walked back around, somebody had already bought them. And I was like, all right, that's fine.
Let me guess, it was the Fonzie playset, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was.
So first time I'd ever seen a Fonzie's garage.
Yeah,
playset.
That was when y'all posted that picture. I was like, okay, I didn't know Happy Days had toys, but that's awesome.
I knew they had like Mega figures or whatever, but I didn't know about Fonzie's garage playset. I was like, oh, okay.
And we did purchase something from that booth. We got looks like they're lunch bags, and they're from the real Ghostbusters with Slimer and the No Ghost and the real Ghostbusters. It says High C on it. So there's a nice little vintage find, I think, and only for $5. So we said, hey, why not?
Yeah.
Something
I've never
unique.
seen those before. Those are awesome.
And they're in great shape too. Great condition.
They really are. We're gonna keep them in the plastic bag they came in because they're well sealed and airtight. So yeah, they're good.
Yeah. See? And Terry and Oliver had a great Saturday. They were hopping. They were so busy. People coming through, getting their photos with the DeLorean, and we got a chance to get in there and get, of course, our group photo with them and Steven and his wife, and then Oliver set me and Brock up with our pictures there with the car on the hoverboard and all that. So it was fun.
Speaking of which, have they changed the way the hoverboard's attached? Because you couldn't see the way it would, it looked perfectly like it was just floating there.
That's because you're sitting on a stool.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. Okay. Yeah. I was wondering how they done that. Because last time when I had my photo, they had that arm that was extended out where he would, pose you where you were on it, but you could.
Yeah. You were standing on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But now he's moved up the bar and it's got a seat attachment and you sit on the seat that, don't wear short shorts if you're on this thing.
Okay.
It's like a bicycle seat.
Yeah. And then he straps the hoverboard to your feet and you've got to hold your legs up.
Okay.
Jess, who is thanks to years of karate and everything or taekwondo is she can squat and do flexible. Yeah. Anyway, so I can't. So he's like, hold your feet up, and I'm like, I'm trying. I'm old. I'm rickety.
Again, guys, the YouTube version of this, you're going to get a whole lot more out of it.
don't.
Facial expressions.
Yeah, the facial expressions from all of us when Brock said that was like, really now?
Look, and I knew where my brain was going. I knew what it was going to sound like, and I'm like, I'm just going to go with it.
You just gotta
We're married. I'm not ashamed. You know, you gotta go with it.
She's good at karate. What do you mean, man? I mean,
Yeah.
Or taekwondo. My apologies. There is a difference.
It's okay. Martial arts. I don't,
It's
I
midgetsu.
I am not a martial arts, elitist. Okay.
You better be glad I'm not.
Bama Geeks on YouTube. Just sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it's okay.
We find ways to make everything entertaining, from taekwondo to
Jess's
Dollywood.
face, she's just deadpan, and the rest of us like, really now?
So yeah,
we're just having fun. We're just friends. We are friends having fun, and that's what it boils down to.
Yeah. So keeping with the naturally the geek theme, because that's kind of our name.
What?
This episode releases on Wednesday, May the 4th. And I think that is one of Kevin's favorite days of the year.
That's Star Wars Christmas, right?
Exactly.
Something
that's
like
Star
that.
Yeah.
So to those of you listening today, May the 4th be with you.
Yes.
So is it Star Wars Christmas? Does this mean they're going to start playing John Williams music in like February?
I thought, I already do that.
I mean, yeah.
But, we don't have stations that do that, I guess. But I haven't heard anything about them doing. Usually they'll do like a big toy, like the month will be like a whole bunch of toys and stuff. But I haven't really heard a whole lot out of Star Wars on that. Like whether we're going to have like any toy announcements or anything.
Well, it's I think it's reached a point now they could do it on like, Friday the 23rd, in February, and people are still going to be just as crazy about it as May the 4th. I mean,
well,
it's true.
I think there is a Star Wars a Hasbro live stream for toys on the 4th, isn't there?
There should be. I'm sure that they would have to. I mean,
we've got Ahsoka coming out. We've got Andor,
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan's the big one.
Star Wars celebrations happening in Anaheim.
Yeah, and then we've got Mandalorian's going to be at the end of the year. So that'll God, we got. I mean, Star Wars is kind of quiet right now, but we've got a lot of stuff coming up. I mean, the Obi-Wan series is going to be the big one, but they had to push that back, but to make up for it, they're giving us 2 episodes to start off with. So
yeah, and I think they're timing that out with Celebration, are they? There's 2 episodes, like they might have some sort of viewing party or something there.
I'm not sure on that.
Yeah,
I hadn't heard anything on that.
I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't keep up with the Star Wars world as much as everybody else.
Well, and oddly enough, considering my decor, I'm not like all up on it, like with everything. So yeah, if that's the case, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, because they want to have something to deliver at Celebration, and I'm sure we'll get some new show announcements, and probably I would suspect we'll finally get an actual trailer for the Rogue One, or the Rogue One, excuse me, God, the Rogue Squadron movie.
Is that project still moving forward?
I think so.
Because Patty Jenkins was supposed to is directing it, right, from Wonder Woman. I just
the thing is there's so much Star Wars stuff going on that some things can be like filming and proceeding without us even really knowing it. There's so much stuff going on, and at the very least, we'll probably get a new trailer for Andor, I would think, because I know that actually went through filming. So,
is that a movie or a series?
It's gonna be a series. Yeah,
series. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be a prequel for Rogue One, which Rogue One's my favorite Star Wars movie.
Oh, it's fantastic.
So that's and that was, by the way, anybody listening that just gasped and like, oh, how dare he do Disney era stuff as his favorite Star Wars movie? It was a struggle, guys, because I'm one of the ones that's always like Empire's the best movie, and then eventually Rogue One won out. It's the most emotional, and it's the one that I really like. So Andor is going to be a really big one for me, I think.
All right.
Nice.
But we don't get any K2SO in the first season, from what I understand, because he's not there yet. So no Alan Tudyk, and it'll just be pure like spy stuff.
That is like K2 says, gave me one of my favorite lines in Star Wars. There's problem on the horizon. There is no horizon. That's probably one of my favorite lines in Star Wars.
You're being rescued. Please don't resist.
Yes.
Need to go back and watch it. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember loving it the few times I did see it.
Well, and tying in with the Star Wars discussion, this year it celebrates the 45 years ago that Star Wars debuted. And not only is Star Wars turning 45, so is Jessica Parker on May the 10th.
Oh.
That's right. So these past couple of weeks we celebrated Bo and Kevin's birthdays, and next week we'll be celebrating Jess's, and just got to wait on me.
I eagerly await your Photoshop picture of her with a birthday hat.
He's gotten so good with those this year, hasn't he?
Well, you know.
Don't you dare Photoshop another birthday cake in somebody's hands and not like actually get us a birthday cake, sir. Okay, that was a really awesome looking birthday cake on that Photoshopped one you did of mine, and I never saw a birthday cake like that. Okay.
Well, shame on that guy for not bringing it to you at the hockey game.
Jerk.
Oh.
So happy birthday, Jess.
Yes, happy.
Thanks.
You're as old as Star Wars, and I'm the only one around here that's older than Star Wars.
Well, that's like, it's funny now, like you're talking about, like with the Star Wars getting older. Like I want to say, was it today or yesterday? I saw somebody post where it was Attack of the Clones turned 20 from its release date. So now you're getting into the the prequels are now getting into the older territory.
Help.
And unlike it, and I'm not gonna, I probably won't receive any hate from this because I think most everybody feels the same way. But unlike the sequels, the prequels have actually aged fairly well.
They have,
they have aged fairly well.
Jar Jar
sequels, I don't think ever will. So
Jar Jar doesn't get on my nerves nearly as much as he did in the beginning. I can actually stomach him now.
The prequels have been good for memes for me. That's been my thing. It's
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's one thing I hate about not going to Star Wars Celebration this year, because I've never been to one, but I would like to go and meet Ewan McGregor because he's was announced recently as a guest there. That would be cool, but oh well.
I did go to Celebration 2. I went to Celebration 2 the first year that it was in Indianapolis, and that was a phenomenal convention. I remember, since we like talking about toys, I have 4 of the limited release toys that they had there. It was a George Lucas as an X-wing. He was the character Jorg Sakul. I have 4 of those that I picked up. I actually took my my nephew with me, and I sent him through the line on his own with money. And he was like, he was like Anakin's age, in the prequels. So I sent him through, and I was like, go buy 2 figures because we can only buy 2 at a time. So I sent him, I gave him money, and then he was just a couple ahead of me, and so I could watch him. But it was just, he was far enough apart from me that he could get them, and it didn't just seem like I was giving a kid money to get me some.
Yeah.
So he got up there and he got 2, and I got 2, and then we were good there. So
nice.
That was a phenomenal experience. I mean, if you've ever been to a celebration, you definitely need to go. That's huge.
Hopefully at some point in time, maybe we can find our way to a celebration.
If they come back closer, it'll be, if they go back to Orlando, it'll be helpful.
I'm about to say, I know you guys would do the Orlando one if y'all could.
They're doing this in Anaheim, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make a special trip out to California just for something Star Wars related.
I mean, even if they went back to Indianapolis, that would be cool.
But, that's not too bad of a drive.
Yeah, Indianapolis wasn't too bad. I mean, just it's pretty much just 65, just straight up. So.
I do have two figures on order from Hasbro. They're releasing George Lucas as stormtroopers, so I've got 2 of those figures on pre-order.
This makes me think that what they need to do, if they could go forward more movies, they need to Stan Lee George Lucas in the movies. They just need to do that.
How's that drink doing?
You would do that?
Yeah.
I'm really doing a lot for the podcast this episode. I am the MVP of this podcast right now.
I would settle if they would just do George Lucas as like Mortal Kombat with Toasty.
Oh man. Oh, lots of good stuff coming out in the near future. You just said with Star Wars. This week we're going to get Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
we're
boy.
we're taking a mini vacation for Mother's Day this weekend, and we're leaving out Friday, but we're not leaving town until we see the new Doctor Strange movie Friday morning at 10 o'clock.
And yay for
No
my
rush.
birthday month. That means free large popcorn,
Oh,
free
yep.
large drink.
Yep.
Yay.
And I'm going to take this quick second to plug Bama Geeks Front Porch. It's our online community on Facebook. Go in there and join that. And the reason I'm bringing it up right now is because Bo posted a picture in there a couple of weeks ago of, it's called the payoff poster.
Oh yeah.
That is the big Doctor Strange poster that has got Scarlet Witch front and center.
Mhm.
And if you're a regular listener to this podcast, you know how much I just crush on Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch. Love it. So Bo was like, well, I guess I know who's going to get this poster.
Mhm.
Guess who got that poster?
Spoilers. Well, let me tell you how I am coming into possession of this poster.
Sorry.
Did you kill somebody? You killed somebody. You
I'm
didn't.
just gonna. I
You're
think I'm just gonna
exchanging
take a back seat to this podcast.
Nope.
I can't do anything.
You exchanged it for a customizable mouthpiece. I get it.
No, I did not.
Okay.
So Disney movie rewards, you go, you buy the Blu-rays from Disney and whatever, and they give you the code that's inside, and you join the Disney movie rewards website, and they, you build up points. And so I got an email today from Disney movie rewards, and it says limit one per household, but you have enough points to redeem this if you want it. And I go and click, and I'm like, it's that poster.
Wow.
And I'm like, yes, please. I had 1,300 points, and it was 800 points to redeem. So a 27 by 40 inch double-sided movie theater poster of that is on the way, totally free from Disney.
Nice.
I'm just glad you didn't have to kill somebody for it.
Yeah.
I would have.
I know.
Really.
That's why I'm saying I'm glad.
We've reaped the benefits of a lot of the Disney movie club rewards.
We've got two posters from Frozen and then Frozen 2. We've got a couple of those double-sided theatrical posters. Thanks to those rewards, I've got like a ceramic Donald Duck figure of him as a Boy Scout. It's been great. So we do tend to buy Disney Blu-rays just to get those points, because they like you said, you do get some.
I need to talk to my wife. We do that, but I need to figure out if we've got rewards for stuff like that, because we usually do that to get some of the few of the movies. I need to figure out, there might be some cool stuff I'm missing out on.
You just might.
Yeah, they do have limited stuff, and this Scarlet Witch Doctor Strange poster was.
That's a great poster, though. I like it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's awesome,
and for free, it's even better.
Yeah.
Every time Jess, every time you guys talk about, we got a new poster, we got to do this, and I'm like, man, I'm just kind of imagining y'all's house when you finally get to build it. It's like you guys are going to have to build like the Louvre, like a gallery,
3 stories.
You just have nothing but posters.
It's got to be 3 stories to fit every piece of art and poster and stuff. I mean, I've got a 10-foot tall, the Anaheim Resort. It's one of those big prints you see on like the light poles as you're walking through, and they've got them on both sides of the light pole. I've got one that's 10 feet tall of aerial.
Yeah, he reminded me this morning about that. I don't know how we got on the discussion of that, but he did throw out that reminder that whenever we do get the next house, that we have to have a way to mount the 10-foot, banner thing. So he says he said he might even have to tack it on the ceiling, but it's going to be there.
Yeah.
Brock, you're going to have to build you a McMansion with that big old entryway on it.
Look,
I'm loving it
up in there.
Yeah, so we got to have vaulted ceilings in at least one room for this thing. At least go up to 10 feet, because I got to have a massive 10-foot tall aerial on the wall. It's got to happen.
I will say, and I know you guys already know this, but everyone tends to forget, everything that you put up for collectibles, and I'm looking around my room here,
Mm-hmm.
you got to clean it.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to keep it clean. I'm looking at all the dust bunnies going, yeah, I need to clean this.
Oh, our whole house
yeah.
right now, I've got to go through. now that I'll have some free time, not working on papers for the next 3 weeks, I can actually go through and do that.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's definitely going to be a sight once we reach that point in our life.
Oh, I can't wait
for a forever home.
It'll be a museum in the basement. It will absolutely. I've got way too much stuff in storage. It's just dying to come out. In this house, if I were to bring everything from storage, put it in this house right now, we can maybe walk from the front door to the kitchen.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
pretty much. Yeah.
It's just it's not boasting or bragging or whatever. It's just years and years of being a collector.
Yeah.
I mean,
not throwing
the only spacing that's off limits in your house for putting collectibles is where you guys put your hot sauces, right?
That's right.
You got to have the hot sauces on display.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
We need to start going through those again.
Like in our pre-show, they've got their Alexa set up that gives them cleaning tips like every week, right?
No. We didn't set it up. She set herself up.
Okay, so it gives them cleaning tips, and she's going through and she's saying that they need to look at things that are expired.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys probably need to do that with your hot sauces.
Hot sauces live forever, man.
I would say a true Southerner never throws away hot sauces. I'm pretty sure my mother probably has hot sauce old as me, probably still. So
my mom, oh my goodness. After she passed away, I was going through her stuff. Oh, she had a jar of jelly that was at least 5 years old. I was like, Mom, but
Did you get some penicillin out of it?
Nah, I went ahead and tossed it. So maybe some of the rats in the dumpster maybe they're okay.